Welcome to Chapel Hill, the beautiful new UNC soccer and lacrosse stadium here on the campus of North Carolina. The Tar Heels hosting the Fighting Irish, a top 16 clash here. Charlie Davies alongside Dallin Cuff. Here's the ND lineup. One change from the team that drew number 4 ranked Indiana last week. Sending Farley in at the right back. Chuck, what do you think about the 3-4-3?
They're going to come in, get in solid blocks of 6, and then just defend. Felicien Dumas is one of those players who can get up and down. They're going to rely on him for his service.
On the other side, North Carolina team in this beautiful new facility. They only are 1-1-2 in this new facility. They roll out a 3-4-3 as well. They've been trying to figure out their lineup. What do you think about this?
It's a new lineup, but Alex Rose is a starting striker, big target guy, 4 goals, 2 assists this year. They're going to need him to be opening up that front third for Jelani Peters and Jack Skahan.
Carlos Samwana, he anchors this team, 9th year as the coach. Won a national championship back in 2011 in his first campaign. Told us, we're trying to figure this thing out. We need 11 guys to be on the pitch doing the same thing at the same time. We'll see if that lineup can help. On the other side, Chad Riley, his 2nd year at Notre Dame, a former player here, all Big East player 3 times when they were in that conference. Back at his alma mater, heading the team for the 2nd campaign as we get ready for kickoff. Beautiful night for some soccer. ND's going to take the ball and try to move right away. Quick turnover. Alongside Charlie Davies, I'm Dallin Cuff. Jelani Peters skips into the attacking half of the field. To Julian Hinojosa. Ball played over the top by Jeremy Kelly, looking for Jack Skahan. Flag stays down. Skahan, quick corner, less than 30 seconds into the match.
UNC talked about being aggressive from the start, and it looks just like they're sticking to that game plan.
Skahan gets set to play it in from the corner. Low ball driven in, loose in front of the box, cleared out, but not that far. Shot taken, but off the mark in the end. North Carolina getting a shot on target, off target, I should say, to start off the game here by Hinojosa. Charlie, we talked to someone, you just mentioned it in the lineups. This group has been looking for the right 11. They were picked to be the preseason favorites to win this conference. Had some struggles, to say the least. How do you write that as a player early on when you're expected to be really a top 5, a championship contending team? And the first weekend they were here, they went 0-1-1.
It's difficult, especially when you lose your top goal scorer from the previous season. I mean, I've been there with Boston College. You know, we were chartered, heralded to be one of the top teams in ACC in our inaugural year. And first game of the year, I go down with a knee injury and I'm out the season. The team had to adjust, and it wasn't easy. It took us 6, 7, 8 games to finally be competitive. So this UNC team is still loaded, and they still have a ton of potential. And I think, he's talked about this team growing as they play games, because they don't have time to just work it out on training sessions, because they have a game almost every 3 days.
Yeah, that is college soccer. That is the deal we're working with right now. I know there's proposals out there for a 2-semester season. I think we'd all like to see that. I think players would like to see it. Would help in some people's development for sure, and coaches actually allowed to work on tactics where you're not learning through games.
For the growth of the game and the sport, in college, you need 2 seasons. 1 season is not enough. And so for all these players, now they'll be constantly training. The rules won't hold them back from having organized training sessions with coaches, so they can work through different formations and tactics. So you don't have to fit everything in a week and a half.
Very difficult task at hand. A lot of talented players on the field for both these teams. Notre Dame in possession. That's Jack Casey, patrols the midfield, 7 in the white uniforms. One of the leaders on this team, 2-time academic All-American. Long ball played by Senan Farley. Hinojosa brings it down.
The knock on this UNC team is they play pretty, but they're not physical. They're soft. In Notre Dame, they just matched the physical presence of Indiana, number 4 team in the country. So
in Indiana's building.
In Indiana's building, which is no easy task. So this Notre Dame team knows they can grind out results. They've already done it so far. Now UNC, they took on UCF. Central Florida came in here and just banged them up and bullied them and got a result. So this is a game where they need to reestablish who they are.
Bad turnover. Alex Rhodes, leading goal scorer, got the ball, tried to play it back into Jelani Peters and Skahan making the run. Take a look at Notre Dame's season thus far. It's, again, a top 16 ranked team. They've been there all season for the most part. Second season for Chad Riley, 3-1-1. That one loss is to Clemson at home. We'll talk about Clemson later in this broadcast. I know you were questioning who they played, who they beat. Well, they did beat the Fighting Irish on the road. We'll come back to that in a bit. Second quarter of the game for UNC, they averaged just under 8 a game. Ball curled in, good ball. Did beat the first offender, though. Had some pace on it. Mauricio Pineda tracks it down. He is the National Player of the Year candidate in this game. The Mac Herman watch list preseason. He's going to play the ball in, look into the back post. Skahan still there from the corner. Cuts in on his right, driven ball, curl off the post! What a shot by Skahan.
Skahan takes his player 1v1, gets a little room and lets it fly. Beautiful shot. There was some pace, good swerve. Just unfortunate it hit off the crossbar and out.
We're in a perfect angle, midfield here on the side of the cameras you're on, folks, and you could just see that thing. That looked like it was destined for the corner. I can't believe that at the post. What a strike. Duncan Turnbull, there was nothing he was doing as the keeper. Not even a courtesy dive.
Nope.
Peters back on it. Driving end line. Cuts it back. Third corner.
All 6'7"
of Turnbull.
But that's what you want to see from Jack Skahan early on. You don't need a ton of room, just a little inch of space to get off a shot, and that was great. I mean, now that the front three can interchange like that, it adds another dynamic to this North Carolina attack.
Skahan again, slow driven ball, poor corner taken. Goes out harmlessly. Notre Dame has hardly possessed the ball, hardly crossed midfield. You talk about starting fast and being on the front foot. North Carolina is that right now. Peters for the throw-in. Back in 2017, 25 points, 9 goals, 7 assists, was second on a team that went to the College Cup. Last year, quite a bit down in production. Does lead the team, though, with 4 assists on the campaign.
Ton of pace. He frightens defenses. And Chad Riley already talked about this Notre Dame side, being aware of those 1v1 opportunities and those occasions. Don't let him get free.
Long throw into the box. And they call a foul on Matt Constant. Center back came up. Big fella in his own right. 6'6" out of Dallas. Constant, transfer from New Mexico. Back in 2017. Didn't play last year, and now anchoring their back line. His 7th start of the year. Started every game so far. Townsend Mayer. Over to Muhammad Abdul Nadi. 15 in white. Couldn't help maintain possession, and Notre Dame's having some trouble in the back as Alex Rose pressures. Farley, heavy touch, leads to a turnover. Skahan, give it another go! Wide again, but David Urbacher, the official, says that was deflected. We are in our 4th quarter in our 7th minute of play.
Jack Skahan taking the initiative early to try and generate chances for himself.
Swinger. Hinojosa settles. Popped out to Pineda. Kelly skips inside, driving at the defense. Pineda clips it in. A little bit of ping pong. Jack Casey gets on to settle it down. Urbacher calls the foul, allows Notre Dame to get on the ball.
That did not look like a foul to me either. That was just good physical play.
Welcome into UNC here at Chapel Hill alongside Charlie Davies. I'm Dallin Cuff. A top 16 clash here and an opportunity, but no, flag is up. That is the first time Notre Dame has even gotten into the attacking third of this match. North Carolina's dominated this from the jump. They already have 4 corners. They've hit the crossbar. It's been an exciting game to start things off. This is a Carolina team that was picked to win this ACC conference, which is the best soccer conference in the country. And they've struggled at this beautiful new facility. Only 1-1-2. 1 win, 1 loss, 2 draws in their 4 home games. Need to protect their home turf, and they've started well today, Chuck.
They have, and they've taken the initiative. They've pressed. They've generated some great chances. Jack Scahan on the shooting from the right and the left side hit the crossbar. But this is a fantastic start from this UNC side.
And you see the stats there. They are as lopsided as they should be, as this game has shown so far. Notre Dame has had maybe 12 touches on the ball, if that.
But
looked
that's
unsettled
fine.
in the back right now.
That's fine for Notre Dame. I mean, watching them play against Indiana.
Only this much pressure would be okay.
Right now, it's just settling into the game. Stay compact. Be in your lines. Don't give up too much. And now they're trying to build themselves into the game right now, connecting passes. Chad Riley talked about, against Indiana, when they were able to connect 3, 4, 5 passes, they got chances.
Jack Lynn, their leading goal scorer, had a great year, 27. He's on the ball, drops it off to Aiden McFadden, back to Lynn. Jack Casey, great in the midfield. Sending Farley. Ian Sherris turned it over. But Jack Scahan does the same in the Tar Heel number 8 jersey.
Now that was a little bit the Liverpool-esque type of counterattack, and Carlos Samuano talked about that. I want my guys to play like Liverpool. As crazy as that sounds, and as good as Liverpool is, that's the style I want to play.
Ironically, I talked to a lot of coaches, and a lot of coaches say they want to play like Liverpool. It's hard to do. It requires a lot of fitness and a lot of talent.
Exactly. I mean, it's that Man City or Barcelona.
Yep.
Right? So
and Samuano and he cited all those guys, as well as Carlo Ancelotti at Napoli, who just had a big win this past week over Liverpool, and other coaches that he's taken pieces and bits and pieces of their game. But those are the clubs we hear the most for sure.
Yeah, winning the ball back and then being direct. Being direct, passing on the ground, opening up space. That's what UNC just tried to do right there.
Another poor turnover. Jeremy Kelly on the ball. Over to Pineda, National Player of the Year candidate. Pass a little short, but Jelani Peters gets there. Hinojosa to Pineda. Peters. Pineda with a little bit of space, closed down quickly by Casey. Nice touch, looking for Alex Rose, this team's leading goal scorer.
You saw the double team there when Jelani Peters got on the ball. They're very mindful of him being in 1v1 situations because of his speed and how he can create chances for the others in the attacking half.
Jack Scahan popped it back to Kelly, they made a run. Mark Salas over to Kelly. North Carolina in this 3-4-3 formation. That's part of Carlos Samuano's issue this year is what form are we in? What are the 11 guys that can play the way we want? This is what he went with today. And they've started well. Dispossessing. Mohamed Abdul-Nadi. Attempted cross. Sails the net.
This Notre Dame team is going to stay patient. We don't need to go gung-ho. We don't have to get ultra-aggressive. Stay low. We'll weather the storm, and we'll get ourselves into the game.
There's Chad Riley, Notre Dame coach in his second campaign here with his alma mater. Played here from 2000 to 2003. Back when they were in the Big East, 3-time All-Big East player. He's an assistant coach here, went to Dartmouth, won 3 Ivy League championships in 4 years, tournament every year, and now comes to head his alma mater here. In his first year, took him to the quarterfinals of the NCAA tournament last year. It's Ian Sherris, hard work up front, but David Erbacher calls a foul on him. Thought he could have got a corner there, but no, it goes the other way. Great program coming up for you, folks. ACC is going to give you all-access pass into Notre Dame women's basketball as the team prepares for the upcoming season. You'll get never-before-seen footage and sounds from head coach Muffin McGraw, one of the legends of the game, coaches and the players. 1 hour special airs next Sunday, 9 Eastern, right here on ACCN and ESPN, the app. This is going to be awesome. Chuck, this team that played the national championship game last year lost all 5 starters. A lot of them are balling in the WNBA right now. Interesting to see how they rebuild, or I should say reload. Definitely check that out next Sunday night.
I'll be checking it out.
You know, Chuck's all in with the ACC now.
All in.
Jack
Every
Scahan.
sport.
also all in. Good times, finds Aguilera. Raul Aguilera, the shot saved, it's loose. It blows it out to Peters. Good goal. 1-0 home team. It seemed like it was coming. They were knocking on the door. And Peters on the doorstep finishes first second of the campaign.
Skahan active all game. Plays it to Raul Aguilar. Turnbull makes a great save, but the rebound pops right out to Jelani Peters. You're not missing from there. Great low strike. Turnbull does a great job. He's 6'7", but can't give the rebound right up in the middle of the six. Oh, right there. Townsend Mayer had a chance to clear it, just couldn't get all of it. And UNC are up 1-0.
Beautiful view there from the goal cam of Duncan Turnbull getting down 6'7" with his right paw, but wasn't able to control it, just able to get a piece of it, leaving the rebound there for Peters to score and put this UNC team up 1-0. Let's see if Notre Dame can bounce back. Played out wide to Michael Pellegrino. Freshman Pellegrino back to Farley, senior. Spotted McFadden making the run, but just put too much on him. Seems like the ideal start for Carlos Samuano, for a guy that's saying this team's trying to find their way to be up 1-0 in the first 15 minutes with the pressure they applied.
They've done a fantastic job of taking the right steps to this game, the right approach, keeping the ball, being direct, taking shots. Now, can they keep that up? That's the question, because Notre Dame are going to turn it on once they do get settled, once they build that confidence, keeping the ball. Just UNC have to keep the movement going, keep the free-flowing passing. It's been fantastic from UNC thus far.
Ball played back in quick. Carlos Samuano, who's had an illustrious career, is in his 9th year here at UNC. Won the national title in his first year, 2011. Been to College Cup 2 the last 3 years. Last year they lost their opening game, though, in the NCAA tournament. Left a pretty bad taste in their mouth, but they bring back a lot of talent. They have the #1 recruiting class in the country, according to Top Drawer Soccer. This is a team that had a lot of expectations, but they've got to, as we talked about before, have to grow throughout this season, which is really hard with so many games coming at you hard and fast. But if you start to play well and win some games, that momentum can build just as quick.
Winning heals everything.
Yep.
I'll tell you that. And you better have the #1 recruiting class in the country. When I walk through that facility that you have,
brand new facility, folks.
The conference rooms, the locker room, the video rooms, everything, state of the art, first class, better than a majority of MLS sides.
That's pretty impressive.
It's very impressive.
This is a facility just built here. In 2 years they were playing in Cary, North Carolina at the home of North Carolina FC, or North Carolina Courage, depending on what team to follow there. And that was tough for them. Talking to someone in the offseason, just said, we didn't really have a home. We overcame it. We were able to put together some good seasons and not allow that to affect us. But being back here now in front of our friendly confines, in front of our fans, will help this program. And to your point, the recruiting piece is going to be the big help.
Well, you walk through the facility and all you see is national championships. That's it. National gold, gold, gold. I mean, it's so impressive. I know I'm lucky I didn't get a tour of this place. Because if
your history would have been a little bit different.
It could have been. And then you see Mia Hamm's pictures and Cindy Parlow and
the women's domination.
Heather O'Reilly.
21 national championships. Heather O'Reilly playing down the road for the North Carolina Courage. It's her last year. She's going to come here and coach on Anson Doran's staff, be an assistant. Bill Palladino ceding his spot as Alex Rose is making the run. And Hina Hossa, just poor turnover there. Muhammad Omar on the ball, sophomore. Peters turns it. Waited a little bit longer to lay it off to Pineda. Long ball, sprayed out of bounds.
What I watch for the most when I'm looking at these young players is their reactions. When you lose a ball, when you make a poor decision, how fast do you try and win it back? What's the urgency? And if the guys that are tuned in and try and win it back right immediately after they lose possession, or a teammate loses possession, those are the traits that professional scouts are looking for.
It's always the little things. It's always the things that the untrained eye does not pick up to what can help you get to the next level.
I mean, all professional coaches, that's probably like one of the biggest transitions for me was when you don't have to necessarily lose it, but your team loses it. How quick are you tuned into that and getting to the next play? How are you trying to block a passing lane? Are you trying to cut out a pass or be physical with the player who wins the ball back?
Late challenge by Hinojosa. Herbacher says play on. Jack Lynn in the attacking third with the touch. Plays a low ball out for their first corner of the match. Maybe a chance to throw something threatening on Fran, which has not happened yet today.
Jack Lynn, only 3 touches thus far. They need to get him more involved. Now, I spoke to Chris Rolfe, who runs operations at Notre Dame for this team, and he talked about how Jack is grown. He can finish with both feet. He's a prototypical striker. Not the most pace, but you got to get him the ball in the box.
Felicien Dumas, good ball curled in. Dumas, dead ball specialist, but in the end that came out harmlessly. Mentioned Lynn, a guy that only scored 3 goals last year, has already got 4, and that'll be offsides on Skahan. Talked about his growth, and it's been quite evident. He scored the first 4 games of the season. He's 4th in the league in terms of goals per game. This is the 6th game of Notre Dame's campaign.
When you talk about set pieces, this is where Notre Dame can hurt you. Big team, a lot of experienced players.
Nice reverse pass, but Lynn is off. Ian Sherris with a nice little pass the run, just a bit off time.
Great run, just a little too antsy because he hasn't been involved that much. But UNC has to be mindful. Do not give up careless set pieces, whether it's a corner kick or a fouls around the box, because that's where Notre Dame can hurt you.
Yeah. What do you want to see Notre Dame? What can they do better to kind of turn the tide in this game? Or is this the game we're going to be looking at? Them defending, kind of struggling out of their back, and maybe it's going to come down to set pieces and dead balls?
Well, right now, Notre Dame, when they do win possession, they're giving it away. So can you connect those passes? Because when they did, they look great and they get into the attacking half. It's all right now. It's just keeping the ball. Can they keep the ball? If they do that, it builds rhythm. It gets guys going. Played
quick to Alex Rose. One of Rose's first touches. He's the leading scorer on this UNC team.
Got to stay alert on this UNC team. They are notorious for quick restarts.
Looking for a long throw again. Jack Skahan tattooed one off the crossbars minutes into this game. Beautiful curling effort from about 20 yards.
The 3rd goal at VTech. There's a foul. Pineda puts it down. Hits this ball to the sideline to Jelani Peters. In a place where you want him, 1v1. He burns the guy on the sideline, crosses it for a goal. That's UNC. They're very well rounded.
That was a big win for them. A team, again, they're trying to find themselves to go on the road against Virginia Tech, get a result. Tech at the time was 9th ranked in the country. UNC wins that game 3-1. It was last Friday. But they had, in between that, had a draw with Davidson. 0-0 here at home. Alex Smurr, first time to say his name, closed down quickly. Keeper. Jack Casey takes a chunk out of Kelly. Ball switched over to Mark Salas. To Pineda. And Hossa shielding the ball well. Freshman. Raul Aguilar looking long for Peters. Knocked down by Pellegrino. Hinojosa into a little pocket of space. Peters. Aguilar. Salas. Looked like he was thinking about lining up a shot there. Hinojosa plays it back. We'll tell you about our triple header tomorrow, the other football, right here on ACC Network and ESPN the app. Number 1 Clemson gets our primetime matchup. But the day starts with Syracuse. They host Western Michigan, noon Eastern. Then Central Michigan squares off against Miami at Hard Rock Stadium. And then 7:30, top-ranked Tigers taking on Charlotte on our ACC primetime matchup presented by Geico. Pineda with some space, gives the shot. Turnbull down, makes easy work of it. That Syracuse game is going to be a big one, folks. That's an important game for a team that's lost to Maryland, lost last week to Clemson. They got a Western Michigan team coming in there with John Ossinek, quarterback that can really spin it. That'll get your triple header started tomorrow at noon. Of course, the boys of the huddle get you warmed up for that in the morning.
When Pineda took that shot, he leads the team in shots and shots on goal. He's a deep-lying midfielder. I mean, he was a converted center back at the Chicago Fire Academy. When you watch him play, I get the Arturo Vidal feeling when I watch him.
Chilean.
He can get up and down. He can score goals.
Sheriff's on it, lays it off for Lynn. Lynn tries to place it with the curler.
That's what you want to see from Notre Dame. Take shots. Jack Lynn. Get him the ball around the box. That's where he can do his damage. But we're going to start seeing this Notre Dame team start moving up their line of pressure, because you can't drop deep for too long. I think now they know, okay, let's start to try and move up these lines and get a little pressure on this UNC back line.
I want to come back to Pineda, though. You were comparing him to Arturo Vidal, one of the best central offensive or central midfielders in the world for a number of years. He's gotten a little bit older now, but what's Pineda's ceiling? Is he a guy that we're going to see have a chance to play at the pro level and excel?
Yes, I do. Watching him, the mindset. He reads the game, his understanding of where to be.
Slide roll pass to Skahan. Early ball played in. Nope, that was a shot. Thought he was going to cross it. Took the shot off of Turnbull.
Skahan can hit a ball. In that instance, you're never going to fault a player for putting a shot on goal. I think there was better options, but let it fly. And he does. He tries to catch Turnbull cheating near post. Ooh, that was dipping to the left, swerving. Turnbull did a good job.
You saw he was leaning his way to the right, got back to it on the left side. Skahan gets to play in their 5th corner of the match already. Outswinger. Back to Jeremy Kelly, who played that beautifully weighted ball to Skahan to create this attack. Back to Salas. Hinojosa, part of this top-ranked freshman class. Peter starts to make the run. Well read by Senan Farley. Muhammad Omar on the ball, the sophomore.
Jack Riley mentioned his progress. Omar and Muhammad Omar is a player who's a sophomore. He's just trying to learn as he grows. He's got a big presence. Can he be a little bit more involved? I want to see him push up a little bit higher. Take Pineda out of the game. That's what his goal should be. Don't give Pineda time and space. Step up a little bit and make it difficult for him to play balls.
Back to Matt Constant. That Notre Dame strung together for the first time. 6 or 7 passes, got a big switch. And tried to mount an attack that Matt Constant snuffed out, but that was probably their best possession of play. Over 25 minutes into this thing. Ball squirts through to Peters. Good run by Rose into the channel. Hinojosa, Pineda. Aguilera's poor pass, picked off by McFadden to Casey, and a chance now for a potential counter. Lynn was trying to get back on side. Kumar will run it down a little bit just to apply some pressure. It'll go out now for a throw.
Notre Dame, in this instance, you got to be cleaner. That's a possession that you got to take care of. Now, as soon as you lose it, that's when you got to push up the lines, get forward, get everybody up to half field. and try and create something in the final third, because right now they're lacking creativity.
See a number of subs coming in. Aid McFadden coming off for Ben Giacobello, goal scorer last week for them. Tyler Shea coming on.
Chris Rolfe said I'd be excited by Ben Giacobello. He's a player that's active. He's got a goal on his name this year, but he's a player that's interesting. He's someone who will probably add something to this front third.
He did. Yeah, he was talking about goal scorer, comes in, creative, ability to get on the ball and do some things. As I mentioned, he was their goal scorer when they drew against Indiana, number 4 ranked Indiana last week.
And he just gets a nice first touch there.
Pushing forward, finding Jeremy Kelly. That's picked off by Patrick Coleman, who's coming into the match as well.
Once this Notre Dame team understands that UNC has 2 deep-lying midfielders, and Notre Dame has 2 deep-lying midfielders, so there's a lot of space in the midfield. When the ball turns over, Notre Dame can push numbers forward because there's no one to hurt you. You have Alex Rose up there by himself. You can use 1 or 2 guys to help cover there and push everyone else forward. Because you look at instances, and Mohamed Omar and Jack Casey are kind of standing in the middle of no man's land. They're not marking anyone. So you can get them forward, put pressure on Pineda so you don't let him dictate play.
Pineda already has 25 touches in this game. To your point, being active, getting another touch here.
This is what Notre Dame's going to have to come out in the second half and talk about and realize we need to close them down.
How hard is it to make that adjustment in game here? You still have almost 15 minutes left. How hard is it to start doing that in this half?
It's not. You need to wait for the ball to get out of bounds. When there's a dead ball situation, you get the nearest player to you. You say, tell Mohamed Omar to step up, or Jack Casey, step up and take Pineda out of the game. He's dictating how the tempo of this game. He's creating spaces for other guys with his balls. Take him out, mark him, because right now it's not good enough. And if you let him be free in this game, he's going to dictate the play.
Lonnie Peters cutting in on his right foot there, the goal scorer in this game. At the 14-minute mark, alongside Charlie Davies, I'm Dallin Cuff here from Chapel Hill. Beautiful new UNC soccer and lacrosse stadium. UNC up 1-0. And a venue where they have not fared that well early in the season. They're 1 win, 1 draw, 1 win, 1 loss, 2 draws in this building. And Notre Dame turns it over with the foul, and they have an early lead here, about 2/3 way for the first half.
I like that from Ben Giacobello. He was aggressive, trying to go forward. That's what you need at times. Notre Dame's going to have to step this pressure up. They're dropping too deep.
Who's seen a lot of the ball, the freshman. Rose looking to post up and bring this down. Not able to control it.
But Hinojosa loses it and gets it right back.
Jack Casey, not exactly putting his influence on the game, 7 in white. Omar steps into midfield. Dances past Hinojosa, rides the challenge from Pineda. Tries to play it to Lynn on the channel, but too much on it.
He was frustrated. You could hear it.
Yep. Michael Pellegrino was to his right. It would have been the easy pass. He chose not to do that. We've got another sub coming in here.
Notre Dame's at time have tried to play too aggressive and trying to play the difficult ball. Just play simple.
Martin Salas enters the match, brother of Mark Salas. Out goes Raul Aguilera. Salas will step into that midfield spot. Again, UNC playing on 3-4-3. If you've been following this team this year, they've mixed it up 4-2-3-1. They wanted to play that. Really, for this guy, 21, Alex Rose, in the spring. Carlos Samwana said that he had such a great spring. They're playing that formation. Skahan runs it down. He'll keep it in play.
Great touch to keep it.
Lays it back. Shot! Just wide. Salas comes in the game. His first touch almost gets one on frame. Great work by Skahan. He's having a good game.
The touch there to keep it inbounds was more impressive than the actual block. Skahan's been active, generating chances. He's been tuned in today.
Here's Skahan again, blocking a pass forward. Salas collides. Jacobella. Good move. Down the right, good work by Pellegrino, but they'll maintain Irish possession.
Great work from Michael Pellegrino there, taking the players 1v1, trying to get something, create something. That's what these Notre Dame players have to do right now.
Farley back to Mayer, excuse me. Ball played long. Made a good touch when the second ball passed, a little wayward though. Omar picks it up.
Because they put pressure on them. You got to put pressure on UNC's best players.
Patrick Coleman, one of the first half subs. Picks up the throw in, and we'll have another sub here coming our way. Number 9, John Rea enters the game, senior, Tempe, Arizona. Comes in for Jack Lynn, the leading goal scorer. He'll take a little break. Rea's 6th appearance on the year. No goals in this campaign. Jelani Peters back on the ball, striding forward. David O'Barker says no foul. Turned over. Jack Casey with a little bit of pressure, but then Casey turns it over.
Casey, the captain, has got to keep possession. You can't lose it there.
Brother Salas, the other brother Salas, Mark to Martin. Martin on the ball. Skahan, nutmeg, feeling himself. Coasting forward. Still Skahan, pokes it. Saved by Turnbull.
I love what I'm seeing from this kid.
Soon senior Philadelphia Union Academy product, impressive.
Oh, Meg, see you later. Dribble. Then he chops him. Then another shot. He tries to use the outside of his right foot. I love it from Jack Skahan.
4 shots on the game. One was really close to being a goal. About 4 minutes into this thing, a beautiful curling effort to hit the crossbar. He's been active and effective, creating for himself and his teammates.
Skipped by 3 Notre Dame defenders like it was nothing.
Blake Malone, part of this Herald freshman class, 4 in blue. Playing that right center back spot in this 3-4-3. Talk about applying more pressure. Notre Dame trying to there, but
one player, not all of them, working together. Rea was running around, chasing the goalkeeper down, and he turned around and he saw, man, no one else is running. I've been there before.
I know you have been.
Oh, nothing frustrates a striker because you don't expect strikers to work so hard defensively. But when they do, they expect everyone else to do the same thing.
Ahmed Omar gets his head up, turns, looks long, floated. He'll go out of play. Chance to tell you about The Huddle, our signature football show, hosted by the guy Jack Collinsworth, analyst Eric McClain, DJ Manuel, Mark Richt. They'll preview the weekend slate of games. Again, that triple header starting at noon tomorrow. We'll update you on all things ACC. But first, The Huddle is tonight, 8 Eastern, right where we wrap up here from Chapel Hill. And then tomorrow morning, 11 a.m., they'll get you set on ACC Network and ESPN, the app. A couple more subs for UNC. Sebastian Berhalter comes on. 15 in the middle of the park.
That name sounds familiar.
Yeah, it does. Are you talking about his mom, Rosalind Berhalter? Was
Yes.
a two-time champion here in the North Carolina women's team? Or their dad, Greg Berhalter, the coach of the men's national team and an
that
All-American
guy.
formerly here in North Carolina. How about that pedigree, by the way? And Berhalter's on it right there. Nice slide pass, slip pass to Pineda, launching an attack. Up to Hinojosa, but Farley wins the foot race for now. Poor turnover. Hinojosa again wins it back. Couple more subs for you. There's Berhalter. Good ball pinged in. Looking for Antonio Lopez, who just joined the fray, 11.
He knows how to strike a ball.
Man, does he ever.
I knew Greg would tell him, you know what, we're getting this down. You're going to be able to strike a ball properly. And he pings it across, right off, coming off the bench. It's fantastic to see.
Good entrance into this game. About 6 minutes to go in the first half, just under 6 minutes to go in the first half. Need to close down, gets a shot off, and Turnbull kind of had it covered, and he'll go out for a corner.
Got to get pressure to Pineda.
6th corner of the match.
Pineda looks, takes a touch to his right, another one, sets him up, and just tries to put it low, far corner. He's not afraid to shoot from anywhere on the pitch.
Berhalter to play it in. In swinger to the back corner. 2 Tar Heels back there. Matt Constant cuts it back in. Hinojosa will keep it in. Hinojosa tries to get off a shot. Goes out harmlessly.
Five minutes left. Notre Dame, just keep a clean sheet for the rest of the half. Do not give up anything. And then you reassess how we play in the second half, how you go about attacking this UNC team. But right now, you got to get more pressure to the midfielders.
Giacobello comes flying in. Berhalter able to keep control enough. Pineda stands on it, stops it, and will get it going the other way. I know you like that.
Class. He used his strength. He was patient on the dribble.
Berhalter looking for Herrera, who just entered the game, the 3rd sub that came on with that last shift of personnel. He came in for Alex Rose. Herrera on it again. Venezuelan native. There's Herrera trying to run this down. Gets the cutback, it's loose! And they're saying it went over the end line for a goal kick. David Erbacher points to the corner as Michael Reinhardt, the official on the far side, makes the call. Coming up at halftime, ACC in the top 25. Chuck and I'll break that down, preview the upcoming week, which is another great week in ACC soccer, all first half highlights and analysis. Sorry, my friend, what were you going to say?
Sebastian Berhalter, you're a freshman.
Yeah.
You want to make an impact and earn your minutes? You're doing that tonight. Make the right decision.
6 minutes.
Be direct. Take shots. Get other people involved.
Notre Dame leads the foul battle, though, 6-3. Pretty quick restart. Trying to run it down as Antonio Lopez will go out for a throw.
For as one-sided as this half has been, we've seen it with the Duke UVA match. Duke comes out on top. UVA had no chance. Second half, completely different story. The same could be tonight if Notre Dame make those changes.
We'll see if they do. But to your point, John Rea takes the foul there. They'll get a free kick here. Chance maybe to loft it into the box. But you make a good point. We were at UVA, at Duke last week. I mean, they owned the first 45 minutes at home. They were up 1-1. However, UVA did squeak a goal back off a set piece, off a loose ball in the box before the break and make it 1-1. And they went to dominate the second half and win 3-1.
But you get a set piece with under 2 minutes to go and you play a short pass. These are the things that you need to fine-tune if you're Notre Dame.
Ahmed Omar moved past some defenders, but his pass went essentially to nobody, but tracked down Patrick Coleman and then turned over. Under a minute to go here from Chapel Hill in the first half. Carlos Samuano probably likes the first half, I would assume, you think?
Yeah, he's going to say, we were great. We kept possession, we knocked it around, but 1-0 is not good enough. We need to put teams away. When we play that well, we got to score more than one goal because it can come back to haunt you, especially in this college game.
Back to Alex Smurr. Picked up on the run by Kelly. Looking for Herrera, but didn't quite come together. 10 here now. Long ball play by Farley. Knocked down. And that's how the half will end. Home team North Carolina up 1-0 on the visiting Tar Heels, visiting Fighting Irish. Your assessment first half?
UNC, all UNC. They got on the ball, they created chances. Jack Scahan was great. Pineda dictated the game. This was a half that UNC will be very proud of.
They will be proud of. They're up 1-0. Those stats reflect the domination that they put forth, but it's only 45 minutes in the books. And only one goal can change this whole thing around. We'll see if that happens. We'll be back from halftime from Chapel Hill. We'll take a look around this great conference, see what's going on, preview the week to be. Be back in a few minutes here at UNC. 1-0 here, North Carolina, up over the Notre Dame as we get ready for the second half of this football or football match, depending upon which sport you want to talk about. But I'll tell you about some other football, the American variety we have coming your way on ACC Network tomorrow. Triple header, Western Michigan and Syracuse. Syracuse lost the last two games, giving up about 8 million points in those two games. They need a win at home against Western Michigan. Then Central Michigan goes down to Miami. Miami coming off a nice 49-0 win last week, looking to build on that at home. And it ends with Charlotte playing #1 ranked team in the nation, Clemson. Our ACCN primetime football game presented by Geico. 7:30 is your kickoff time there. Triple header gets you started. Huddle gets you going in the morning. And then I will be there hosting the show once all the games are over. All ACC wrapping things up.
I'll tell you what, that was an unbelievable transition.
Oh, thanks, big guy. Appreciate it.
Futebol.
Futebol.
I love that.
Brasileiras. All right. No need for me to speak Portuguese right now. Let's refocus here. Notre Dame, we'll see what tactical changes they make. Charlie, I know you said they want more pressure on the ball, play with it more aggressive, get more front foot. North Carolina, we'll see if they maintain the same thing they were doing. It's one of those things, maybe if it ain't broke, don't fix it, because this 3-4-3, which they haven't really rolled out this year, has been effective to this point.
Well, it'll be effective again if Notre Dame doesn't make any changes.
It really has nothing to do with the formation. It really is about what Notre Dame didn't do.
Right, and Jacqueline only had 5 touches. Your star striker only had 5 touches in the whole first half. So that's got to change if this team wants to get something out of it, because he's influential. He's great at holding the ball up for his team. He can strike from his left foot, his right foot. But in order for him to do that, he's got to be close to goal. and they haven't had possession for him to even get a chance, an opportunity. So look for him to be more involved if they change the tactics in the second half.
See if any change happens here. In terms of people on the field that have changed, Spencer Farina comes in for Notre Dame at the right back spot. He started that game against Indiana, did not feature at all in the first half. He's now in that right center back position as David Urbacher gets ready to blow the whistle, and we are underway in the second half. Mauricio Pineda gets the first touch. Same back line as started for UNC, but a couple different players in terms of the midfield and the top. There's Santiago Herrera. He gets the start in the half for Alex Rose. Sebastian Berhalter, 15 in blue. He gets the start the second half on the left side in place of Jelani Peters. There's Mark Salas, left center back spot. That back line again is the same. Hinojosa, who had a really effective first half, and man, Shannon Farley going right through Herrera, committing the foul, making his presence felt, I guess.
Sending a message to start the second half. We're going to be physical.
Looking for Herrera. Cut out. Jack Casey, though, quick turnover. Back to Berhalter. Nice slick pass. Columbus Crew Academy product, no shock. His dad was the coach there before he took over the U.S. men's national team less than a year ago.
The genes are there. All right.
His mom, Rosalind, two-time winner here at North Carolina, national champion winner on the pitch here. Father was an All-American, obviously featured in both World Cups for the U.S. men's national team, and is now leading our squad.
Now you see Notre Dame getting more numbers forward.
Alex
Jack
Smart.
Casey, close down Pineda. Don't give him time and space.
Quick long throw looking for Jack Lynn. That was Farina, as you mentioned, into the mix. Aiden McFadden, good job. Dispossesses Jeremy Kelly cleanly. So hoop games, you hear somebody yell, "Cookies!" Nice moves, battling Patrick Coleman. He got the start the second half, not the beginning of the game.
It's funny you say that. I would say that in training.
Cookies?
When I'd steal it from a defender.
Yeah, that was the thing, man. That was hooping. You pick somebody clean, you let them know what's up.
Or a bad touch, I'd yell, "Fumble!"
Fumble. Martin Salas touching it back to Kelly, another one of those guys that got the nod to continue playing after he was subbed on in the first half. That's brother to brother right there. Blake Malone, the freshman, feeling a little pressure, cycles back.
And Notre Dame are doing just that. Pressure on the back line of UNC. Don't give them time and space. Let's move the lines up.
You see 9, Herrera went down, limping. Nice work by Omar, skipping past Pineda, but then the pass not there. He seems to get done that a number of times today, making 1 or 2 good touches, good moves, and then that next pass is always a bit wayward.
It's almost like you feel happy, you're accomplished, you did the hard part, and then the easy part, you lose concentration and you give away a ball.
Omar, the sophomore from Toronto, trained with the Canadian U20 national team in the offseason. It's a player that I know Chad Riley's excited about. Now Spencer Farina winds up for a long throw. Felician Dumas, he's got a great ability to strike a ball. You didn't see it there, swing and a miss.
With his left foot.
With his, you took the words out of my mouth. That right, not exactly as confident. Or as comfortable, I should say.
I'd say both.
He looked confident there. Afterwards, I don't know if you feel the same way.
After a swing and a miss like that, it sinks into your brain. Okay, let's stick to the left. But we didn't call his name at all in the first half.
No, Dumas was subbed out about 25 minutes in. Really was not effective. He's got 2 goals in the year, but both off dead balls, that beautiful left foot. Berhalter, well done. getting on a rare run with the ball. Nice ball played back by Townsend Mayer.
Much better from Notre Dame to start this half. Now you can see there's urgency. They're trying to make the game. They're keeping the ball, they're pressuring, they're being physical. A clear difference from the first half in this half.
What do you attribute that to? Is this a tactical decision? Try to rally. Do you want to go out there and press and run helter-skelter for the full 90, or is something different in terms of the effort or where guys are set up here?
It's a little bit of both. I mean, it's a combination of many things. Guys, you're playing on the road. Let's settle in. Let's take the initial pressure. Let's see if they get tired and they drop off, and then we start to push. Let's see how quick these guys are. Jelani Peters, Skahan in the attack, and I think they let the game get away from them. They didn't realize, you know what? It's Pineda and Hinojosa who make the game. In order to stop this attack, we got to cut out the service.
Dumas picking up what was a little bit of a loose pass in the back. Patrick Coleman. McFadden.
We didn't see Notre Dame connect 3 passes along the back line like that the whole half. So this team all of a sudden have confidence to keep the ball.
Looking over the top, skipped off of Compton's head. Sherris, low ball played in. Back to a Sherris. Clips it in. Omar arriving. Well played out by Mark Salas. Better from Notre Dame.
Much better. They're putting balls in the box. They're getting numbers forward. We didn't see this at all in the first half. They're trying to take people 1v1, taking chances and risks. You have to do that to get something out of this game now.
Turnover, leaving Jack Lynn, drags it wide.
Jack Lynn, he had a fantastic shot against Clemson from distance, so he can shoot from outside the box.
Yeah, tattooed that thing off the post and went in. Some subs here. Now this is returning to the starting front 3, if you will. Jack Skahan back in the game. Alex Rose back in the game. Jelani Peters back in the game. All of them started, and we'll see if they can have a little more effect, at least in the defensive end, applying some pressure to Notre Dame, which was the struggle in the first half for them to deal with.
Well, Samosa said, all right, I don't like how this second half started off. Let's get the big guns in.
Good dip of the shoulder by Muhammad. McFadden's second pass off, though. Pineda called for the foul there.
He lost possession. He's relentless. He tries to track it down, commits the foul.
Aiden McFadden, number 10 in white. Pennsylvania native, 2-time All-State in his high school days. Dumont driven into Lynn. Lynn's pass a little too hot. Patrick Coleman, sophomore, couldn't handle it. Got some more subs coming in here. Raul Aguilera set the check back in. Helped create that goal, made a great run. Skahan played it into him, took the shot, led to Peters' rebound goal, and that's the difference in this game right now. As Aguilera comes on for Martin Salas.
Trying to win that midfield battle back like it was in the first half, because Notre Dame are now putting pressure on this UNC midfield.
Kelly turns it over. David Erbacher didn't like that Kelly just kicked the ball out of him. down the line there, out of play. Get a little talking to. Kelly comes in hard, no call there. As Coleman goes down. Coleman still limping. Oh, Pineda. Great control to maintain possession.
Great bit of skill from Pineda there. The ball, Omar gives it away. Pineda touches it around. Again, uses his body well and gets fouled.
Whirling Dervish.
Skill. McFadden, good piece there. You got to beat people on the dribble.
McFadden uses his body, but Blake Malone, freshman, does a good job. McFadden looking for the switch. Spencer Farina up into the attack. Flipped in by Casey. Whoa! Oh! Hopeful at best by Aiden McFadden, but we almost saw somebody to hit SportsCenter top 10. It's like he didn't even try to take a shot. His body position was so interesting.
But Jack Casey plays the ball in, the rebound comes out, and McFadden says, you know what? Let me have a hit. Let me have a rip. Don't mind that at all.
Almost caught Alex Smur by surprise.
Almost caught the whole stadium by surprise.
Yeah, well, particularly us.
That'll give this Notre Dame team some confidence. I remember playing, and you see a ball come off a post or a crossbar, you go, oh, we're there. We're getting there. It's getting closer.
Coleman out dueling Skahan. Nice touch by Farina. Bad touch there, leading to a turnover, Pineda, and then easy foul called by David Erbacher. Chance to tell you about the huddle. You know, it's our signature football show. Guy Jack Collinsworth in the studio getting things set right now. Eric McClain, EJ Manuel, Mark Richt. They'll preview the weekend slate of games. Again, a triple header coming your way tomorrow starting at noon on ACCN. And they'll give you everything you need about ACC football tonight, 8 Eastern, tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. right here on ACCN and ESPN app. So they'll going right when we're done, and at 11 a.m. they're getting you set for the games leading you up to the noon kickoffs on the huddle. Always a good watch.
Don't miss it.
Don't miss it. Nice piece in The Athletic today on Eric McClain and his journey to be part of our network here. Check it out, folks. Quite entertaining. Patrick Donaher from ESPN Talent Group is now known as The Guy, apparently. That's Patrick's new name. The Guy.
So just call him Guy.
There's the guy behind the guy behind the guy. You know what movie that is?
No.
Swingers.
Yeah.
I was really hoping. We're about the same age. I thought for sure you'd get it.
No,
but that's disappointing.
you're a little older. You're a little older.
By like 12 minutes. Jeremy Kelly with a turnover. Drives to the attacking third. Sees Jelani Peters out wide. Oh, Peter drags it past Farley. Cuts back again. Still Peters. Shoots it in. Deflected just wide. Peters' goal is the difference in this one. He almost marked it again. But Duncan Turnbull, I believe, got a touch on that. Or one of his defenders.
Peters. This is what you want to see from him. Taking guys 1v1. He gets his head up. He chops him back inside and then tries to cross it in for Alex Rose there. He beats him on the dribble. It's a little off. He comes back to his right foot, his dominant foot, and tries to play that cross in. Great defending there from Townsend Mayer.
Outswinger long to Martin Salas. Falls to him. He clips it back in. Townsend Mayer was able to get the touch. Almost led to getting in the back of his net, but just wide enough to keep this a one-goal game and keep Notre Dame in this. That's been better, in your opinion, the first 15 minutes as we move through the second half.
Night and day for Notre Dame this second half. They were passengers in that first half. They just sat back. They let UNC get comfortable and play. Now they're pushing numbers forward. They're being physical. They're not making it easy for this UNC team to play. Pineda's getting pressure on them. We haven't seen Hinojosa get on the ball when he was in.
Good point. Coleman 1v1 versus Martin Salas. McFadden hit the post just minutes ago, finds Omar. Omar tackled down nicely by Alex Rose. Leave the potential break here. Jelani Peters pushes forward. Pineda joining the attack. He's got Peters ahead as an option. Still Pineda, lays it out to Skahan. Skahan's got a shot, slashes it wide.
Skahan's gonna want that one back. He was working to make runs. Pineda gets it to his feet. He takes a touch to set himself up for the shot. And it just catches the outside of his foot. I think he lost control of the ball. You know, he put his eyes on the goal. Your eyes get big. You're like, I'm going to put this far post on the ground. And then you lose track of the ball.
And it ends up harmlessly out of bounds for a goal kick. Good attack there by Carolina as we're under 30 minutes now left in this match alongside Charlie Davies, former national teamer, former BC Eagle. I'm Dallin Cuff. 1-0 North Carolina leads in this top 16 clash over Notre Dame. In conference play right now. Their win on the road at what was then number 9 ranked team in the country, Virginia Tech. Notre Dame's loss is at home to Clemson. Clemson, because of that win and every other win they've had, they are now number 7 in the nation. They take on Duke, though, tonight at home. That will be quite telling. 8 o'clock Eastern kickoff.
That's a big match for both teams.
Huge match. I believe that's on the ACC Digital Network. Keep it locked. If you're watching this on your app or your phone, keep it on the Digital Network. Watch that game at 8. That's going to be a big one. Ball played out into the third row.
Still, who's the best player you've seen in ACC?
Well, the most physically impressive guy. Let's take a look at some upcoming matches, though. Notre Dame, Michigan State. That Duke-Carolina game next weekend, that's going to be a huge game. It's a big game in any sport, but particularly where these two teams are. And we'll see what Duke does this weekend. Carolina in a good spot right now. But back to your question. The most, just physically, it's Daryl Dike. He's just so physically imposing.
But best player?
Best player. I do really like Joe Bell from UVA. Controls the game, smart player, understands the game, does some work on both ends. But DK's a beast. You? Your opinion really matters, though.
Daniele Proc is the best pure soccer player, footballer, is what we'd like to call. Good on the dribble, great runs, great first touch. I think he's the best player. Now, I still think there's a ton of players that I've seen across ACC that have an enormous amount of talent and potential. Isaiah Parente comes to mind for Wake Forest.
That's your boy?
I think he's a fantastic player. Justin McMaster, another player, a winger. You can throw a lot of these players in the same kind of pool. McMaster, Jelani Peters, Kai Marnie Smith from Clemson, who we haven't seen yet. But these guys all have pace, right? They're in the same bucket, talented players. Then you have the players who are thinkers, Isaiah Parente, Joe Bell, these players. And then on the outside looking in, Anthony Sinclair from Syracuse, defensive midfielder. I was very impressed with him. He's a freshman from Costa Rica. He gets across the field, covers a lot of ground, tough tackler. I was very impressed with what I saw from him against UNH.
All quality players and all, of course, almost every team we're mentioning, folks. Top 15, top 16 team here has turned over to Coleman. Syracuse team is trying to get it into the rankings. If they could beat Wake, that would go a long way. Dumont, early ball played in. Jack Lynn is there. It falls. And just knocked out for a corner by Matt Constant. It'll be the Fighting Irish's second corner of the match.
Now they got big bodies, get in the box, get in front of the first man, and this service it's got to be great. McFadden put it in a dangerous area. That's all you can ask from a set piece taker. Put it in a spot that your team has a chance at getting to.
foul. Swing up toward the penalty spot. Omar gets head to it. Falls for Farina. First time shot. Rather wide.
Much better. Mohamed Omar got up. Came off his head. Here it is, McFadden. Great set piece. Omar flicks it on. Farina just tries to take it one time with his right foot. Just off target, but again, Notre Dame building confidence, getting chances. We didn't see that in the first half. UNC's got to get back to what they were doing well, getting on the ball, switching the point of attack, switching fields, getting runners in behind. We haven't called Alex Rose's name once. So your star striker, hold-up play, use him.
So Notre Dame now 3-2 in shots. They were down 11-1 at half. Mentioned Alex Rose, 21 in the blue jerseys. He is the leading scorer on North Carolina's team, and we've said his name just in these last seconds this half. He didn't start the half, but that said, even when he came in the game, they've been unable to really do anything to affect it or get him into the mix. Jelani Peters had a little bit of effect there, almost scored on that redirect there. How hard is that when you're controlling a game at half to go into break and come out mentally, be ready for the next half that somebody's going to throw at you versus being like, we can keep kind of, they're kind of in coast mode almost. They were controlling it so easily, it seemed.
At this level, it can be difficult because you're thinking, this game's easy. They're not playing against us. But you have to remember, you have to forget about that first half like it didn't exist and come out with the same intensity, if not more, knowing that they have to change the way they play. And it's going to be a completely different second half than it was first half.
First half, it was 1-0. Here we are in the second half now. Crossing under the 24-minute mark.
So now Notre Dame can win these second balls. We didn't see them winning any second balls in the first half.
Jack Lynn battling, causing another foul here. Alongside Charlie Davies, I'm Dallin Cuff. We're from Chapel Hill right now at the beautiful new UNC Soccer and Lacrosse Stadium. Hometown team leads 1-0 over the Fighting Irish through a Jelani Peters goal. It's been a performance that Carlos Samuano would be happy with to this point. Coming up next is the huddle. Jack Collinsworth and the boys are standing by in the studio. I'm sure they're enjoying the match in front of them, wondering the same thing we're wondering. Is Notre Dame going to get an equalizer? Or is North Carolina going to maintain this and go to 2-0 in the conference? And despite some struggles early in the season, they're wherever they would have thought they'd be, 2-0 in ACC play. Looking long for Peters. Track it down. Pineda making the run. Peters crosses it in. Well played by Mayer to get it out.
It's almost like they switched sides from the first half to the second half. Now it's Jelani Peters getting on the ball often and creating chances instead of Jack Skahan. Jelani Peters has pace. He scares everybody. Like you said 2 years ago, 9 goals. Everyone's like, oh man, this is the coming. This is the next big talent. But then had a dip year last year. And now it's like, okay, let's get back to it. I'm a senior. Let's get back to dominating, running at players, taking charge, being aggressive.
Jack Skahan to play in their 8th corner of the game. Driven in, header! Looks like a save, it's not! Blake Malone! The freshman, his first goal in a Tar Heel uniform, he won't forget it, a beautiful header that could not be kept out by Turnbull.
Skahan with the corner, right to the 6-foot freshman, Blake Malone. He rises, meets it, and it's a great goal. The 5'8" senior Jack Casey had no shot defending Blake Malone on that corner kick. They took advantage of that one, and it's 1-0 UNC.
Blake Malone, part of that heralded freshman class. Ranked #1 in the country by Top Drawer Soccer. Puts them up 2-0. Jack Skahan gets the assists. Seems rightful for how influential Skahan had been on this game, particularly in the first 45 minutes, and the Tar Heels want more. Peters, early ball played in, skips over, out for the 9th corner, and see if they can make the Fighting Irish pay again from the corner spot.
Dumas made a goal-saving tackle because Alex Rose was there for a tap-in on the back post. And Jelani Peters played it early, an early ball behind the back line. That's what you love to see too, varying it up. being a dynamic winger, not being predictable. Looks like UNC is now turning it around and taking the initiative in the second half.
Scahan again, driven ball out to touch. Got a sub getting ready to come in here for Notre Dame. It's number 6, Michael Pellegrino, coming in for Spencer Farina. Pellegrino, the freshman, Philadelphia Union Academy product. Had a number of appearances with the Bethlehem Steel, their USL squad as well. Poor turnover in the back. Pineda's on the ball. Looking for Peters. Oh, clever back heel to Pineda. Driven ball. North Carolina starting to hit a little bit of groove after that goal. Quickly turned over by the Irish again. Alex Rose couldn't handle it.
Now they're getting in a groove because they're finding the weakness in this new-looking Notre Dame side. The width, using width, getting their wingers involved and staying wide.
Jack Lynn could have a chance here. Misplayed in the back. Great recovery by Malone, but Lynn still on it. Shot saved. Saved by Malone, not the keeper. Great job of the defender to deflect it. Scored a goal. May have just saved one right there. Appeals for handball and given by David Urbacher.
If you're Notre Dame, that's where you want Jack Lynn on the ball. Now he gets it. Malone makes his body big and is able to block the shot. But if you're Notre Dame, you're happy when Jack Lynn is on the ball in that final third. There's a great opportunity there. But the freshman, Blake Malone, coming up big on both sides of the ball.
Another sub getting set to check in, but David Urbacher says no, we're gonna play on. Smurr sends it deep. Ahmed Omar slid past Pineda, then drew a foul.
Omar, silky smooth on the ball, but after you beat the player, can you be a little bit, I think, better with your decision making in the pass?
White, 29. Omar just played that pass that ended up being a turnover. Looking over the top to Patrick Coleman. Oh, good touch by Coleman. Lays it back. Still loose. Seemed like Asheris was going to have a shot at it. I'm not sure if he was dummying it, or missed the ball.
But great cutback from Patrick there.
Smooth. Back up to Patrick Coleman again. But he wandered offside first.
Just have to have something come from that play. You get in behind the back line of UNC. You play in a ball across the top of the box. Looks like there's a whiff of a shot. You don't get anything out of it. You got to get a shot on goal in that instance.
Beautiful shot, beautiful new facility here. UNC Soccer and Lacrosse Stadium. Great facility. The last 2 years they were playing at Cary, North Carolina, but now to be back at home. Hopefully for Tar Heel fans playing better here at home. And then using this facility to help them recruit, which they don't really need any help recruiting. They got the number one recruiting class in the country. But it is going to help.
You got that right.
Wish you had a DeLorean to go back and do this again with this facility. Re-rack it.
I don't think they'd have this technology in this facility back in
That's true, they would. Everything goes hand in hand. Smurr looking long.
But I had to stay close to family, so I didn't really have an option. It was BC or UConn. That was it for me.
Good guy. Staying close to fam. Helping out BC too. Putting their soccer program into some impressive places. From what you've told everybody on the field, too, you were a Mac Herman candidate. I know when you got fouled, you decided to tell the refs that a lot.
Yeah, that was the young CD9.
And we're speaking in the third person with initials, mind you. I like it. I like this, too. Jelani Peters pulling away from Jack Casey, showing that pace. One-on-one with Farley, who got worked earlier. Oh, got him again! Cuts it back. But read well in the end.
He's a player you're going to have to always worry about when he's on the ball. His pace, he can take people 1v1. The trickery, it's just that final ball. And it's been going well for him this whole game. Just that one, I think he played it short side. This one, you got to whip it across the 6.
Good turn by Sheriff to get him space. He was trying to play it through to Lynn. But Blake Malone, who was the second goal scorer, has done a great job defensively here. Breaks it up. Skahan, nice ball. Breaks the lines to Kelly. Peters. Attempt to pull it back.
Peters has 29 touches this game and 7 dribbles. Like that's impressive. Impressive amount of work. Now in this second half, we haven't called Pineda's name, and that's because Notre Dame's done a good job of closing him down. But when you close him down, other spots open up.
Aguilera finds Pineda.
And Skahan has now moved back into a midfield role, which he's accustomed to.
Pineda slips into some space. One-on-one with Omar. Still Pineda. And he will get a corner. 10th of the match, and now that's so made by Notre Dame. And Hossa comes in for North Carolina. Quinton comes in for Notre Dame, number 2.
The 6'5" Phil
Big
Quinton.
fella. Ball curled in, back post. In the end, Malone went down. No, out for no harm done to the Irish. Poor turnover. Peters on it again. Lays it off to Pineda. Lets it run across his body, but then corrals it. Hinojosa, huge impact in the first half, back in the game. He's going to get in line. Good ball played in, but nobody home in the back post. Run down by Skahan yet again.
UNC are just beating that initial defender on the dribble with ease. It's just very easy for them to dribble by that initial Notre Dame defender.
Ahmed Omar with a big switch over to Pellegrino. Sheriff steps into some space. Peters again running it toward the back line. Nice pass, weighted ball to Rose. Rose with a cutback to Flex and just wide of Turnbull's goal for a corner.
Rose was looking for Skahan at the penalty spot.
Another sub coming on. Sebastian Berhalter back into the game, this time for Jelani Peters. Peters scored the opening goal in this game, 14th minute mark. Scored the first goal, the senior. Second of the campaign, put him up 1-0 in the first half, and then Blake Malone, the freshman, put up 2-0 as Peters slowly saunters off here. And they may be done up 2-0 with less than 13 minutes to go.
Especially how often he was used in this half.
Yeah.
Creating chance after chance, dribbling down that left side. He's had a fantastic game tonight.
Berhalter drives it in. I'll tell you what, I'm not mad to get to see more of Berhalter, though. I like his game. I'd like to see him get a few more minutes here. It's nice we get to check it out. Hard to get into this UNC team, though. A lot of talented players.
A lot of talented players. But in minutes like this is where you make a name for yourself. And it's on both sides of the ball.
Yep.
You're Jelani Peters, you're not going to be really looked at to make those defensive runs and getting back and tackling. But a player like Sebastian Berhalter, you come in, you need to do all the extra work, the dirty work, to get yourself in and get more playing time in this game and for this team.
Berhalter pressures Quinton, who ended up just taking it deep. Out play. So the aforementioned Berhalter, freshman, Columbus Crew product, academy product, I should say. His dad coached there very successfully for many years, now leading the U.S. men's national team.
You know he's detail-oriented, I'll tell you that.
That runs in the family as well.
His father is second to none when it comes to being dialed into details, the tiniest of details.
Nice ball played by Skahan out wide to Kelly. Deflected off of Dumas. Still Kelly working, and eventually goes out for the 12th corner of the match for the Tar Heels.
There's the head coach, the gaffer.
The gaffer, 9th year here at the helm, Carlos Samoano. Won a championship in his first year in 2011, looking to get back to the top of the mountain as Berhalter gets ready to play the corner in. Outswinger driven in nicely. He'll take another bite at it. A low ball, dangerous. Farley there to take care of it.
Is that Smur's first touch of the whole game?
It is not, but it feels like it at times. Notre Dame had about a good, what do you say, 20-minute spell here to start the first half. That goal really took the wind out of their sails.
It did, because you felt, okay, we're starting to get something, we're pushing. We hit the crossbar with McFadden out of nowhere, yeah. But it gives the team confidence. And then one moment, Malone, corner kick, 2-0, and it takes the wind right out of your sails.
McFadden stepping in some space, turns, reverses it. Sherris.
Now UNC, everyone's defending, everyone's behind the ball. That's what you like to see. Okay, we said we're going to finish this game out. We got to get compact, stay compact, and when we turn it over, get it forward, and let's possess in their half.
Quick restart. Pings it wide to Dumas. Dumas turned down multiple offers to play professionally in Singapore. Play collegiately. And time growing up there, as well as Paris. It's Pineda. Continues to work the ball.
Oh, this is
oh, brother.
This is skill.
Filth. And this could lead to something. Berhalter, heavy first touch, but he'll get the shot off deflection. Out for the corner. Pineda showing why he is a Mac Hermann Trophy candidate.
The senior Mauricio Pineda. McFadden's on him. He says, I'm cool. I'm confident. Holds off another Notre Dame defender. Then the quick feet here to get around McFadden. And then the calmness, the cool, collected, the leadership, the veteran, setting the tone for this UNC team all game.
It's demoralizing for McFadden. He just kind of hung his head and even tried to sprint back. That's tough as sub comes in. Martin Salas in for Skahan, who's had a very good game. Ball played in by Berhalter. Pings around. Sherris fighting off Martin Salas. Back out to Berhalter. Kelly. Kelly turning, skipping past some defenders. Into space, still Kelly. Clips it back. I think he was looking for Rose just a little too high on the cross.
Jeremy Kelly, Carlos Samoasa was speaking so highly of his ability and said, you know what, this is one of the most talented players we've had as well. He's impactful, he can beat you on the dribble, we can use him all over the place, he's a utility player, but someone he really respects and needs to be playing at his best for this team to have a shot in an ACC championship and an NCAA tournament.
Ben Jacobello just checked in for Aiden McFadden. His foul called. Ian Asheris goes down hard.
But for a team that a lot of people say are soft and don't have a backbone, this UNC team, you would have thought Notre Dame would come out here and smack them around and try and bully them and be more physical than they were tonight. And I think after this game, they're going to watch the film and say, man, we really lost an opportunity here to stake a claim for one of the best teams in the ACC because we weren't aggressive enough. We weren't physical enough. When we have size, we got to use that.
A little bit of a missed opportunity potentially for Notre Dame. On that note, though, I want to tell you about a great special coming up next Sunday on the Notre Dame women's basketball team, going all access into their squad as they prepare for the upcoming season. Hoops season is right around the corner, which is mind-blowing. You'll see never before seen footage as the ball's played deep. Jacobello. Never before seen behind-the-scenes footage. Head coach Muffin McGraw and the rest of the new Notre Dame players. 5 starters graduated from a team that played in the national championship last year. They also won the championship 2 years ago. A lot of those 5 players ball in the WNBA right now. How do they retool? Next Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern, right here on ACCN, ESPN, the app. 1 hour special, all access with Notre Dame women's hoops. Jelani Peters comes on.
Notre Dame's Ben Jacobello, just watching him today, should be in that starting 11 because he gives you something different. He's a little bit more aggressive, he's quick, he can generate some chances for himself and Jacqueline. I wouldn't be surprised if we see him in the starting 11 very soon.
And this is a Notre Dame team that obviously they're still trying to figure things out themselves. We'll see if Jacobello becomes a more prominent player in this team. He was their goal scorer last week at Indiana, earlier this week at Indiana when they drew 1-1. Berhalter fights off the defense to keep possession for a second. Jelani Peters, he checked back into this game for Hinojosa. Ahmed Omar. Okay, Coleman. But in the end, the cross too close to Smur. Coleman's got a little something to his game, huh?
Coleman has added a lot this match for Notre Dame. Taking the step through the legs of Jeremy Kelly there, whips in a ball just at the keeper. You need Jacqueline to make that near post run there across Smur's goal face.
He had that great little cutback earlier in the half to create what we thought was a crossing and potential shot opportunity that wasn't taken.
But Patrick Coleman comes in and adds something. That's what you want your substitutes to do. Give you value. And that's what he's doing. He's earning minutes.
Sheriff slips.
But this UNC team has done a tremendous job at adjusting, figuring out, okay, where's our advantage, and let's take it to them there. I mean, we can hurt this Notre Dame team by using width, or getting Pineda on the ball, getting Hinojosa involved, keep possession, switch side to side, be direct at times. UNC has adjusted at every minute this game, And Notre Dame all of a sudden changed things up to start the second half. They looked good. They took initiative. And then Carlos Samuosa does what any talented coach does is adjust in-game, the in-game management. All right, let's get some players in. Let's use the width. If they're going to shut down Pineda, let's use some other players to build out of the midfield. And they did just that.
Carlos Samuano has to be pretty pleased with what they've done in this game as they try to see this thing out. Just over 2 minutes to go.
My deepest apologies, Coach, for butchering your name.
You were good most of the game. You just had a little mental lapse. We got to help you out late game. Coleman gets the cross. Jacqueline shot, save. Falls to Omar. He'll give it a ride, but that might be the dreaded shot that turns into a throw-in. No, just barely for the goal kick.
But you can see Jacqueline, complete frustration written all over his face. Finally gets makes good contact for a shot on goal. It's right at the keeper though, and didn't get enough opportunities tonight.
Kelly riding the challenge. Skips back, maintains possession for the Tar Heels as we are approaching a minute left for this now 11th ranked team in the nation to get their second ACC win. And maybe begin to build some momentum coming off that Davidson 0-0 draw. No, they wanted this game. They felt they needed this game, and they're going to get it. Charlie, as we wind down here, how do you feel at North Carolina? This type of game, this type of performance, do you think they can build on and move forward and actually really build on this performance?
This is a big positive for UNC to win against a physical Notre Dame side that just came off a tie against the number 4th ranked team in the country, Indiana. You can pride yourself winning at home 2-0, the clean sheet, scoring multiple goals. It's a big positive and plus for this UNC side moving forward.
Carlos Samuano gets the W here, moving their home record now to 2-1-2. We take a look at the final stats. Not as lopsided as the first half. Notre Dame worked themselves back into the second half, but in the end, reflective was an overall solid 90-minute performance by the Tar Heels. Take a look at some of the goals for tonight. It started off, Jack Scahan was outstanding to get things going, to set the tone, but then in the end, it was Jelani Peters on the doorstep for the goal in the 14th minute.
Raul Aguilera takes a great shot. Turnbull does a good job of saving it, and the rebound comes off a Notre Dame player, and Jelani Peters there to poke it in.
Great look from the goal cam. Turnbull 6'7", got down and got a touch, couldn't keep it out. Here, almost got a piece of this one too, but Blake Malone, the freshman, what a great first goal for him in his campaign.
Blake Malone, the 6-foot freshman, marked by Jack Casey, a 5'8" senior midfielder for Notre Dame. It was always going to hit Blake Malone in the head.
And you see North Carolina, big games coming up. Michigan State on the road, then they host Duke. That is going to be a huge one next week on ACCN. Can't wait to see that one. North Carolina, we'll see if they're back here with another win, if they can build on this.
It's going to be a big one. I'm excited. It's one of those games where you can't miss it. You cannot miss it. It's star-studded lineups, and it's a game where it's about supremacy. Not only in ACC, but Duke, UNC.
Yeah, that rivalry means so much to so many. But Duke's a team too that need wins. They probably be a desperate, hungry team when they play their rival. Our final score from North Carolina here at Chapel Hill, 2-0 to the Tar Heels. Be sure to tune in Monday at 7 Eastern for men's soccer action. Western Michigan